The NIESR argues that Brexit has resulted in a 3% lower gross domestic product, GDP, for the UK. Remoaners complaining they have been left worse off following Brexit have been quickly shut down by a former MEP. A recent report from the National Institute of Economic Social Research, NIESR, on the economic impact of Brexit has ignited a fiery debate, drawing skepticism from key figures who challenge the validity of the findings. The NIESR argues that Brexit has resulted in a 3% lower gross domestic product, GDP, for the UK, equating to an average loss of £850 per British citizen. Additionally, the report suggests a decline in productivity and a permanent reduction in the willingness to invest in the United Kingdom. Former Brexit Party MEP Ben Habib has robustly dismissed these claims, branding the NIESR as an unashamedly pro-EU, anti-British institution. In a detailed note sent to Express, Habib questioned the NIESR's methodology, particularly highlighting the trade aspect of their estimates. He argued that for the UK's GDP to decline by the reported 3%, trade with the EU would have had to collapse by at least 25%, a scenario that, according to Habib, has not happened. He pointed out that UK exports to the EU have not only maintained stability but have increased, rising from £300 billion in 2019 to approximately £340 billion in 2022. He said, the NIESR, an unashamedly pro-EU, anti-British institution, has for some time been wrongly arguing that the UK's GDP is 3% lower because of Brexit. UK-EU trade contributes around only 12% of the UK's GDP. For our GDP to fall by the NIESR estimate of 3%, trade with the EU would have had to have collapsed by at least 25%. That has not happened. Indeed, exports to the EU in 2022 were around £340 billion, up from £300 billion in 2019, pre-Brexit. Some of this post-Brexit increase was due to inflation, but trade has most certainly not collapsed,